The USS Gerald R Ford isn't just a ship, it's a floating fortress that redefined naval power. Stretching over 1,000 feet, this beast carries enough firepower to rival entire nations. But as China builds replica targets of this very ship in a remote desert, one question looms. Can this supercarrier hold the line against Beijing's Pacific ambitions? This monster spans 1,092 feet, long enough to fit 3 football fields. It's a city on water. 2 nuclear reactors pump out 700 megawatts, driving this 100,000-ton giant across oceans without breaking a sweat. It hauls up to 90 aircraft, from F-35s to drones, ready to dominate any battlefield. This isn't just a ship, it's America's iron fist on the seas. But building a legend comes with challenges, and the Ford faced plenty. The Ford's tech is straight out of a sci-fi flick. Its electromagnetic catapults launch jets smoother and faster than old steam systems, boosting daily missions by 25%. A new braking system eases wear on cutting-edge drones, keeping them battle-ready. Then there's the weapons elevators, designed to rush ammo to the deck in minutes. Trouble is, those elevators were a headache, malfunctioning for years until engineers finally cracked it in 2021. Now they're a game-changer, making the Ford faster and deadlier than ever. But all this innovation came at a jaw-dropping cost, $17 billion. That's what it took to build one Ford, with billions more for research. The entire program could top $40 billion, enough to buy a small country. 5 ships are already in the works, with plans for 10. Critics call it a budget sinkhole, but defenders say it's the price of staying untouchable on the global stage. Every dollar fuels a machine built to project power anywhere, anytime, and the Ford's already proving its worth in ways no one expected. In 2022, the Ford sailed to Europe, flexing muscle with NATO allies. By 2023, it was in the Arctic, then Croatia, then Italy. When Hamas attacked Israel, the Ford rushed to the Mediterranean, its air wing flying over 10,000 sorties in 239 days. It sent a clear message: mess with America's allies, and this beast shows up at your doorstep. From Oslo to Norfolk, it logged 83,700 miles, resupplied 43 times, and never flinched. But while the Ford was making waves, China was watching and plotting. China's not playing games. In 2023, they built a full-scale replica of the Ford in the Taklamakan Desert, complete with moving tracks for missile practice. Satellite images caught it, along with mock-ups of US destroyers. Their DF-26 missiles, dubbed carrier killers, can strike 1,800 miles out. Worse, the DF-21D hypersonic missile hits Mach 10, untouchable by Ford's defenses. Then there's China's Fujian carrier, 80,000 tons with catapults like Ford's, but stuck on conventional fuel. It carries 40 jets and radar planes, giving China eyes and teeth far from shore. Beijing's gunning for 6 carriers by 2030, but they're still trailing. The question is for how long. The Ford's radar systems are a cut above 2. Its dual-band radar, originally built for the Zumwalt-class ships, tracks threats with unmatched precision. But here's the kicker. The next ship, John F. Kennedy, swapped it for a cheaper model to save millions. That move sparked debates. Does cutting corners weaken the fleet? The Ford kept the top-tier tech, ensuring it can spot and counter dangers faster than anything afloat. Yet even this radar can't stop what China's cooking up next. Take China's hypersonic missiles. The DF-21D's speed and range create a no-go zone stretching 100 to 200 miles from their coast. Ford's defenses, as advanced as they are, can't intercept Mach 10 warheads yet. The US needs fighters with 2,000-mile ranges to hit Chinese launchers before they fire. Those don't exist today, and building them won't be quick. Meanwhile, China's Fujian carrier is already practicing with AWACS planes, giving their fleet a radar net that rivals America's. The gap's narrowing and fast. Then there's the human side. The Ford's 4,500 crew members live in a floating city with gyms, kitchens, and even a hospital. But months at sea take a toll. During its 2023 Mediterranean mission, sailors faced grueling schedules to keep 90 aircraft flying. Their grit made those 10,000 sorties possible, but whispers of burnout surfaced. The Navy's betting on automation to ease the strain in future ships, but for now the Ford's strength lies in its people as much as its tech. And China's watching that too. China's not just building carriers, they're studying the Ford's every move. Their desert replica isn't just a target, it's a blueprint. They're reverse engineering what makes the Ford tick, from its catapults to its layout. Satellite images show they've even mimicked the island's position on the deck. This isn't random. It's a calculated step to outmaneuver the US. If China can crack the Ford's secrets, their next carrier could leap closer to matching it. The stakes couldn't be higher. The Ford's battle-tested resilience adds another layer. In 2021, it faced a brutal test. 40,000 pounds of TNT detonated underwater nearby. The blast registered as a 3.9 earthquake, yet the Ford needed only a fraction of the expected repairs. This ship's built to take a beating and keep fighting. But China's missiles aren't TNT, they're hypersonic, and a single hit could change everything. The Navy's racing to adapt, but time's not on their side. On the flip side, the Ford's air wing is a beast of its own. With F-35s, drones and helicopters, it can strike from hundreds of miles away. During NATO drills, it launched jets that outmaneuvered mock enemies with ease. The ability to deploy 90 aircraft anywhere in the world makes the Ford a floating checkmate. But China's Fujian can now field radar planes, letting them spot US moves early. It's a chess game, and both sides are playing hard. The US isn't blind to this. Plans for 4 more Ford-class ships, Kennedy, Enterprise, Doris Miller, and one unnamed are locked in with delivery dates stretching to 2036. These will pack even more drones and smarter systems, turning each carrier into a floating hive of air power. But costs keep climbing, and some argue smaller ships or missile platforms could do the job cheaper. The Navy's doubling down, believing carriers like the Ford are the only way to keep China in check. Still, doubts linger about whether billions spent on giants can outpace China's missile swarm. The Ford's global reach is unmatched, but it's not invincible. Its nuclear reactors let it sail for decades without refueling, giving it a massive edge over China's fuel-hungry Fujian. Yet every deployment stretches the crew and the budget. The 2023 Mediterranean mission showed the world what the Ford can do, but it also exposed the grind of keeping a supercarrier running. Future Fords might lean harder on robots to cut costs and crew strain, but that's years away, and China's not waiting. China's missile stockpiles are growing fast. Their DF-26 carrier killers jumped from 300 to 500 in just a year. Each one can hit the Ford from halfway across the Pacific. The US is scrambling for answers, like longer-range jets or new defenses, but nothing's ready yet. Meanwhile, China's Fujian is training with jets that can match some of the Ford's firepower. If Beijing's carriers start patrolling the South China Sea, the Ford's dominance could face its first real test. And everyone's watching. The Ford's legacy is still being written. It's a marvel of engineering, capable of turning the tide in any conflict. But its $17 billion price tag and China's relentless push raise hard questions. Can the US keep pouring billions into these giants, or will cheaper, stealthier platforms steal the spotlight? The Navy's betting big on the Ford class, but the Pacific is a powder keg, and one misstep could change everything. The race is on, and the winner takes the seas. So here's the deal. The USS Gerald R. Ford is America's trump card, a floating city that screams dominance. Yet China's desert targets and hypersonic missiles are a bold challenge. Will carriers keep ruling the waves, or is a new era dawning? Think about it. What's the real future of naval power?